So now we need to define our mul function. Okay, so this is the mul function here, and we can easily define this function in our controller. So by using Control Shift 2 on a keyboard, or you can simply click on controller here. So it will create a controller. Now this controller is known as client side controller. Okay, and it has automatically created a function for you whose name is my action, and it is taking 3 values. But we do not need all the 3 parameters here. What I will do, I will change the name of the function to mul, because what we have named our function c.mul. Okay, so we are calling this function here. Then function component, and I only want one parameter here, that is component, and component we can denote by C. We can reference by using C dot notation. Okay, so let's say you can define an arbitrary value here, arbitrary variable here. You can give it any name. Let's say we take it name mul component dot get. We need to fetch those values a1 and a2 from our component, multiply them, store them in the variable, assign that variable value to our multiply variable attribute, and then show that here. Okay, got it? So what we will do, component dot get normal brackets v dot a1. First variable name was v dot a1, multiply. Simply I can copy paste this from here. Component dot get v dot a2 is the other variable name, attribute name, and semicolon, statement close. Now we have multiplied both these values and stored them into variable mul. But this variable mul is for this controller. We need to pass this value to our controller, multiply attribute. Okay, because we are displaying what? Multiply here. So that mul output, the return of that function, should be passed here. So what I will do, I will use another method known as component dot set. We will set the value of this variable mul to our multiply attribute. And how to do that? V dot multiply. Okay, this was our attribute name, and we want to set the value mul here. So if you change this to mul 123, you can simply change this to mul 123 here. Okay, this is simply our variable name, mul 123, mul 123. So again, multiplying both these values, storing them into mul 123, and then setting the value of mul 123 into our attribute multiply, and then displaying the attribute here on clicking of the button. Okay, so let's save this, and now I will refresh my application here. If I click this, let's see 15 into 30 equals to 450 here. Okay, if you want, you can give it some spacing here. After this, BR, so you can do the line break here. And if you want to change the value, let's say I change the value of this to 2. So 30 to the 60. Let me refresh my application again. 2 into 30, if I click on this, it should give me output 60 here. See, if I click on button, it gives me output 60 here. Okay, so you can see how easy it is to define a function just by using this controller, and then you can call that function on click of a button, and that return of that function is stored in the variable multiply, attribute multiply here, which we are displaying here. Okay.